Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Andover Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Andover Advisory Group are not affiliated. Cambridge does not offer tax or legal advice.
Good morning, Justin. I want to thank you for your hard work. The information is a big help, and I appreciate what you did. Enjoy the show.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, that's great to know. Thank you for the information.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Justin.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You're right on the money, Jeff. How are you doing this morning? Thank you.
Well, those are good questions. Hopefully that helps.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're going to hear stuff here that you don't hear anywhere else on radio.
And you don't forget it.
Welcome to another edition of Talk Money. I'm Jeffrey Shank, a chartered financial consultant and owner of Andover Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor, providing effective financial advice to individuals and businesses for over 25 years. Thanks for tuning in. Our mission here on Talk Money is to improve your money IQ. So thanks for joining us this morning. We've got a good show lined up, I believe. Good morning, Lou. How are you?
Very good. How are we doing this morning? Don't be bothered if I get interrupted by phone calls during the show here.
Again, I'll say it serves you right for plugging in.
But I wasn't going to get the information I wanted unless I put the contact information.
I mean, it's hard to do things anonymously these days anyway. So even if you didn't put the contact information, they probably know who you were.
Yep.
But by putting the information, you basically gave them permission to contact you.
Yeah. I realize that now.
And share your contact information with others as well.
We're talking about yesterday afternoon during the 4:00 games. I started looking at the home equity lines, and that resulted in about a dozen phone calls and 3 emails on Sunday afternoon. So 3 text messages.
So, Lou, you should if you need some information, we have people.
Yes, I understand.
We have people. I can hook you up with some of the best people in the business. So
it was just a Sunday afternoon inquiry.
I see.
I didn't want to bother you on a Sunday afternoon, so I invited like a dozen phone calls.
Send me a text message. I would have given you the contact information for like I said, some of the best people in the business.
That's all right. I need company, so now I've got plenty of company.
Speaking of which, Lou,
Mm-hmm.
Joining us this morning is a special guest. She's been on the show before, Edna Peters of Edna Peters Insurance Services, and there she is now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Edna. Edna's been in the business for, I think she said over 30 years, and she is actually an expert in Medicare. And the reason why I asked her to come on the show today is because this begins October 15th, I believe. Am I right, Edna?
Yes.
October 15th begins the annual election period where people have the ability to make some choices about their Medicare insurance plan. And so we put up the screen that I think, is it up there, Lou?
You want your graphics? Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I invited Edna to come on and just talk about some of the important dates with regard to Medicare insurance, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things that might be important to you in terms of making some of these decisions. So, Edna, I'll let you take it from there.
Sure. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Lou. So this morning, I just wanted to go over, this time of year can get very confusing for a lot of folks because anybody who currently has a Medicare Advantage plan, this is the opportunity for them to take a look. This is the opportunity for anyone from October 15th through December 7th to join a plan, switch their plans. If they decide to come out of a Med Advantage plan into Original Medicare, they can also change their prescription drug plan at this time. If they have a separate drug plan, if they're on a Medicare supplement, then they should have a separate drug plan. And what happens this time of year also is a lot of carriers will reach out and they'll send you a notice talking about changes in cost, changes in plans. The plans change every year, sometimes, especially with Medicare Advantage. They go from offering a handful of plans in a certain area down to just 2 plans. So your plan may not be available.
Okay, so let me stop you there just for a second, because I had a couple of questions. And so the annual election period, from October 15th to December 7th, that's for people who are already covered by Medicare, right? They already have a plan?
Not just those folks. That's going to be the next election period from January 1st to March 31st.
But right, for the October 15th to December 7th period, that's just for people who already have a Medicare plan, correct?
No, this is the time you can join Medicare. You can join a plan. You can switch a plan if you already have one. But when you get to January 1st to March 31st, that's going to be for people who are in a Medicare Advantage plan already. And they want to come out of it or switch it. They want to go back to original Medicare. Now that term means your Parts A and B original Medicare and you have a supplement.
Okay, so again, we're gonna take this real slow.
Yeah.
So the period that's coming up is for anybody who already has Medicare or wants to enroll in Medicare that hasn't already done so, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that would be effective January 1st, am I right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, and so the elections or the choices that you can make at this point in time are to join regular Medicare or the alternatives. Is that correct?
Yes, right.
All right.
Yep.
And so the alternatives really are Medicare Advantage. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's right. Okay. Basically, yes. In the Medicare options, there's 2 types of plans. There's Medicare Advantage, which includes a prescription drug plan.
Okay.
Which might have, this is another reason people want to change, because it may have networks that suddenly their doctor's not part of the network, and drug coverage changes. So those changes affect your Medicare Advantage plans, and this is the time you can switch that.
Okay, so you can switch from one plan to another?
Yes.
Or from Medicare Advantage back to regular Medicare?
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes.
Again, all effective January 1st. So
right.
It's just an enrollment period.
Right. Okay. So yes, and you know, it gets confusing because they have annual election period and open enrollment period, and they're 2 different things, very similar, and sometimes the same Medicare beneficiary can make a change either of those dates, but the annual election period is for anyone who wants to join, switch, anything like that. They don't have to have currently anything in particular. After January 1st to March 31st, that's for people who already have a Medicare Advantage plan in place.
Okay, so traditional Medicare, Part A, Part B, has a deductible, coinsurance, and unlimited coinsurance, right? So under Part B, the plan pays 80%, you pay 20%, but that would be, doesn't matter how, there's no limit as to how much you can pay at 20%, correct?
Right, right.
And so the alternatives that you talked about, Medicare Advantage, give us the basics.
Okay. So yes, your Part A is going to cover your hospitalization, as you said, but there's going to be 20% that isn't covered.
Right.
Part B, same thing, only that's for everything else. That's for doctors and preventative and services and all that. Again, there's going to be a part that is not covered. Medicare Advantage takes the place of Part A and B, although you still have to carry both. And it's called Part C.
Okay.
That's a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay.
Medicare Supplement plan, you still use your A and B, and the supplement picks up the gap. It's also known as Medigap insurance.
And so if you have Part C, Medicare Advantage, you don't need a supplement.
Correct. You can't have both, actually.
So what's the difference between traditional Part A, B, and a Medigap and Medicare Advantage?
Okay, so Medicare Advantage.
In other words, why would I consider Medicare Advantage plan?
Medicare Advantage plans can work for some people. They sometimes have a 0 monthly premium or a low monthly premium. They include your prescription drug plan as well. So as far as that goes, it's good for some people. However, they have networks and you have to stay within the network. So the first thing I do when I meet with somebody is I do a drug analysis to make sure whatever plan they're going to go with is going to cover their drugs. Then I do a physician search to make sure their doctors and hospitals are in the network. So that's Medicare Advantage. Medicare Supplement, in the contrary, has a higher monthly premium, still very reasonable for the health insurance industry, but a higher monthly premium, but it's taken anywhere Medicare is accepted. So there's no networks of doctors, no hospital. You can go anywhere. It includes foreign travel. So it just has a wider range of coverage.
So what's the attraction then to a Medicare Advantage plan? Why would I choose a Medicare Advantage plan?
Usually the lower monthly cost, the lower premium cost. Okay. And it also can have additional ancillary benefits such as dental or vision, a small coverage for that. It can also offer, one of the companies has a Silver Sneakers program where it will pay toward your gym. The supplements don't have those caveats.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's a trade-off. You have to stay within the network.
So the advantage is a lower cost, potentially more benefits, but there are restrictions within a Medicare Advantage plan.
That's correct.
Managed care, right?
Yes.
It's managed care essentially?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why this time of year, it's essential for people to look, and being an independent agent, this is where I come in. I'm very helpful with that because we can look at their current plan and see that, okay, the network's changed, or now you need a specialist that you didn't need last year and they're not in the network. Your drugs have changed and that drug is not on the formulary chart for this plan anymore. So this is a time, especially if anyone's had any changes throughout the year, this is a time to look and see what you have, what works best for you. And also I have those folks that have supplement plans. The premium is discounted the first 3 years, which is great. And then suddenly the premium goes up. So now they want to look at something else, and they can change supplements throughout the year. There's no enrollment periods for Medicare supplements. That's another plus.
Oh, is that right? You can change that anytime. You don't have to wait for a particular enrollment period. Right. I didn't know that. Hey, exactly. So a couple of questions. Just one, you said something I want to clarify. Something about a discount. What was that all about?
So the Medicare supplements, the carriers offer, if the premium's $200 a month, they discounted 15% a month the first year, all 12 months. The second year they discounted 10, and then they discounted 5. So you're really not paying the full premium until the third year and after.
So does that something that you get the discount if you sign up right away when you're first eligible for Medicare, or is that at any point in time when you sign up?
Any point in time you're new with that carrier.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that is
an incentive.
So that's part of the regulations of Medicare, or that's just a market?
It's a market. It's a marketing strategy. The Medicare supplements come under very different rules than the Medicare Advantage.
Okay.
They're very flexible. They're like a private health insurance plan. The Medicare Advantage are written through the government by insurance carriers, and the Medicare supplement is not.
Okay. So I have clients that come in with these thick books from Medicare around this time of year.
Yes. Medicare and You.
Medicare and You. And they're shaking their heads and they put it on the table and they say, what am I supposed to do with this? and so there are a lot of so depending on where you live determines what sort of plans are available to you. Am I right?
That's correct. Yep.
And there are different plans within that. I mean, a lot of different options, a lot of different plans, a lot of different carriers that you can choose from, right?
Correct. They have to call Edna when they get that book.
Well, I was going to say, well, I mean, what is, from your point of view, best practices? What's the best way to make this choice? What do you do?
So the first thing
besides calling Edna, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yes, the first thing you want to do is that book is going to give you at least 30 pages of drug formularies.
Okay.
So it's very easy for me to go do a drug analysis rather than them going through all those pages.
Okay.
So that's a lot of that book. And then the other book is going to be plans in your area, Medicare Advantage plans, as well as Medicare supplement plans. And it's going to break it down. That's why there's so many pages. It breaks down every plan.
Right.
But where does the person begin?
Yes.
That's the question. They stop by looking at a plan and say, well, I don't need this and I don't need that, so I'm going to go to the next plan. It's very time consuming. It's very confusing. And there's really no easy way to navigate that book.
Okay. So if they were going to do what Edna does, right? What's the first step? You said the first step is to look at the formularies. Is that what you call it? The prescription drugs that are available within the plan. You want to make sure that if you're taking medications, that your medications are covered and how they're covered, right?
Correct. So I do a drug analysis. I see what carriers cover which drugs and at which copay. Tier 1 and 2 drugs, your basic generic drugs and common drugs, usually there's zero copay.
Okay.
But that's where I have to look deeply into that. Then the next step I would take is I have people tell me what carrier they want to use. So then I just go right to that carrier.
Okay.
Some people that have had Harvard Pilgrim, for example, for a length of time, they want to keep that carrier.
Yep.
Then I am contracted with several carriers in the Medicare arena, so I can search many companies for them.
Okay, so after they look at let's say that they say, okay, I'm either not taking any drugs or the drugs that I use are covered and it looks like they're covered well. Then the next step would be to check to see if your physicians are covered.
Correct. Yep. Your physicians, your hospitals.
Managed care. If you're not going to the physicians or the providers within the plan, then you're not going to get covered as well. Correct?
Right. Some Medicare Advantage plans don't allow out of network. If it's an HMO, they have the PPOs, which will allow you to go out of network, but there's a higher cost share for the beneficiary, the Medicare beneficiary. Then the supplement plans, it doesn't matter. There's no networks. You can go wherever you want. So.
Okay, and so follow-up question. Let's say that you choose, you go through the process, you've got the plan that you want, you sign up, and then you find out after you've had the plan for a month or so that it's not the right plan because it didn't cover, something isn't covered that you thought was going to be covered. What do you do?
Most of the plans can be switched within 30 days.
Okay.
So you do have the basic free look kind of 30 days. Right. And after, once it's in force and once you go to that first visit and find out it's not working, then if you're working with an agent, you need to call immediately. Or if you're working directly, you need to call somebody immediately if you want to switch.
Right. And so that January 1st to March 31st date that's on on our important dates list, is that a time where you could make that decision if you didn't like the plan?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is for anyone in a Medicare Advantage plan that wants to switch within the Medicare Advantage products or go back to original Medicare and get a supplement. That's the opportunity for them to do that. And that will be effective July 1st.
Oh, so it's not right away. You have to wait until July 1st.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And so if I sign up October 15th through December 7th and make the decision, I did all my due diligence, and it turns out I overlooked something or there was something that I didn't think of.
Right.
Right. then I do have a opportunity to change my mind from January 1st to March 31st. Although it's not effective right away, it's effective July
Right.
1st.
Right.
Oh,
Correct.
okay. All right.
Yep.
And so, a couple things I learned here. One is that this is not something that you make a decision, you stick with it, a set and forget type thing. You really have to reassess your situation every year. Right?
Yeah, most people do, and most people can tell pretty quickly whether that plan is working for them or not. Somebody may, on their initial enrollment period, we'll get to that in a second, they may have picked a supplement plan. And then after the first year said, you know what? No, we don't need to pay a monthly premium. We want to go
Right.
into a Medicare Advantage. This is their opportunity to do that. So a lot of people do assess it annually. I have other clients that have been in the same plan for a few years now, and they're very happy with it. You don't have to make a change, but if you want to, there's certainly.
So
an
I want to
opportunity.
follow up on something else, but you alluded to the last dates on the important dates list, and that's the initial enrollment period. What's
Correct.
important about that people
So
should know?
when the year that you're going to turn 65 years of age, you have 3 months prior to your 65th birthday,
Right.
or up to 3 months after your 65th birthday to enroll in Part A. It's mandatory. There's a penalty assessed if you do not sign up, in that A is free to everybody. You don't pay for Part A coverage. It's for hospitalization. But if you don't sign up when you're supposed to, they can impose a premium for you. Then Part B is during your initial enrollment period. If you're no longer employed and you're not on an employer-sponsored plan or don't have your own private plan, then you would sign up for Part B. You
Okay.
don't-
So even if you continue to work, you
Yes.
still have to sign up for Medicare, at least Part A. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And there's no charge for that.
Correct.
You can sign up for Part B if you want to, for whatever reason, so you don't have a plan available to you.
Yes.
And most people pay for that out of their Social Security check. If you're still working and you're not collecting Social Security, how do you pay for it?
You just can pay for it automatically from a checking account, a credit
can?
card.
You set that
You
up?
can do paper billing.
Okay.
They'll bill you quarterly if you want paper
Oh, okay.
billing. But there's also a penalty imposed for Part B if you don't do it. If you don't have any health insurance coverage
Oh,
and you don't sign up for Part B when you're eligible, they impose a 10% premium penalty for every year you didn't sign up for it and you were supposed to,
and you pay that forever, right? It's not just a one-time thing,
forever.
right? So your premium is higher for the rest
Yep.
of your life.
Yep.
You don't sign up
There's
right
al-
away.
Yep. There's also a penalty for Part D if you don't sign up for a prescription drug plan when you're eligible. And when you're eligible is at 65 if you don't have another prescription drug plan. You should be signing up for one, or it's part of your Medicare Advantage plan, which is also considered a Part D. And that is 1% for every month you didn't sign up for it and you should have.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
these are the dates that people, some people are not aware of.
Yeah.
And then of course, this time of year, you're inundated with commercials and flyers and mail and yeah, it gets
Does Joe Namath still do his commercial?
it was commercial. Yeah. Now
He
our
does.
new carrier has David Ortiz as the spokesperson. So.
They say Tom Brady's going to be doing one in the very near future.
Oh, really?
So, hey, the other thing I learned is that when I think of you and this time of year, I think of you meeting with people who are just signing up or looking to change their plans, so they're reaching out to you. But it sounds like this is something that you're sitting down with existing customers and reviewing their situation.
I
right?
am. Yes. Yep,
And
I
so-
am.
And so tell everybody how it works. They can do it themselves, right? They can pull out that book and they can go through all the options.
Correct.
Or alternatively, they can use you. What does it cost them to use you?
I do not charge for people to meet with me or to work with me. I'm compensated by carriers, not my clients. So it doesn't cost anything.
They'd pay a higher premium because they're compensating you, right?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, it's the same cost if they go directly through the company or not. It's interesting.
So it doesn't cost them any more to work with
Doesn't
you.
cost them any more for their premiums, doesn't cost them any fee to meet with me. And in about 3 minutes, I can basically navigate the book in a different
So you
way.
have the tools to speed up the process. Plus you have the
Correct.
knowledge and expertise to be able
Correct.
to go through that and figure out and help them figure out which is the best plan for them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And actually, we were just able to talk about this because agents have restrictions as well. We couldn't talk about the open enrollment, the annual election period until October 1st or after.
Oh, is that right?
This is perfect timing to be on your
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, glad you came. And so tell us, if somebody wants to meet you, you're going to be where?
I'm going to be at the Walmart in North Reading.
Really?
And I have my first week. The first day I'm going to be in the store is October 19th.
Okay.
And I'm going to be there several times a week throughout the open enrollment period with a table and information and brochures and more carrier information as well. So come and visit me at the Walmart in North Reading if you
North
want to
Reading.
know when.
October 19th until
October 19th until right through December 7th.
December
right through
7th.
the
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down
Yeah.
and visit.
Yeah.
And
If
so
you want to know my schedule, you'll
sorry.
have to go to my website.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you outside of Walmart, here's
Yes.
the contact information, right?
Yes.
So ednaforlife.com is the website, and I can
Right.
email you edna@ednaforlife.com.
Correct.
That's great.
And-
Go ahead.
My cell phone as well. That's my office. So
Okay. All right. So great. This was terrific. This helped me. So hopefully it helped our fans.
I hope so.
Yeah. Edna, I think what we'll do is if you wouldn't mind, I want to follow up on this.
Sure.
Okay, as we get into the season, just remind people, and there's probably some other things that they need to know as well. So we'll have a more in-depth discussion at another time prior to December 7th, if that's okay.
That sounds great. And if anyone's received anything from their carriers and they want some help understanding, reach out.
Excellent. Thank you, Edna.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye now. Hey, so that was great.
Informative as usual.
Yeah. Maybe not as exciting as the life insurance discussion.
No, it
but,
was just as exciting.
I got to tell you, people
These
come to me.
penalties kind of freak me out, by the way.
This is so confusing, and I looked through the book, and I got to tell you, I'm a pretty sharp individual, and I looked through that book, and oh my God, how does anybody make a decision on these things?
EdnaForLife.com, by the way, no charge for her services to the user, and no increase in the premium. So why would you not?
Why would you not? Right, exactly. Yeah. All right, so hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, quarter ended September 30th. And we're just going to take a look at the markets, and I've got some data that I was looking at the other day, and I wanted to kind of get a feel for where we're at in terms of the markets and where we might be going in the last quarter of 2021. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Whether you're saving money for your children's education, preparing for retirement, or deciding on the right life insurance plan, you can count on the professionals at Andover Advisory Group. Established in 1996, our company is responsible for providing financial planning services to individuals seeking sound financial advice. We create a comprehensive financial plan that serves as a framework for organizing the pieces of your financial life so that you can focus on your goals and understand what it takes to reach them. And a financial plan can help you prioritize. For example, how saving for college might impact your ability to save for your retirement. Having a clear perspective will allow you to pick the right strategies and confidently choose suitable products and services. Best of all, you'll have the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your financial life is on track. Call us at 978-691-5005 to book your free initial consultation. That's 978-691-5005. Hi, this is Jeffrey Shank, a chartered financial consultant and the host of the Talk Money Show. I've been helping my clients for more than 30 years, and now I'm going to help you. Join us to learn about the financial issues that concern you the most. You'll hear from the experts on a range of topics, get some great ideas, and it's all designed to help you make more out of your money. So tune in to Talk Money right here on Eagle News Radio.
Hey, welcome back. So third quarter of 2021 is in the books, and just wanted to kind of review where we're at in the markets. So we have that slide up there. Very good, Blue. Thank you. So overall, third quarter of 2021 was pretty much a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
For the market anyway. The Dow, Russell 2000, NASDAQ, and the global Dow was all down. Interestingly enough, the S&P 500 was able to eke out a 0.25% roughly gain for the quarter.
Yep.
Kind of weird. Treasury yields, the dollar, and crude oil prices ended the third quarter higher, which might be the effects of inflation, which we're going to get to in just a second. Although gold, which typically is an inflation hedge, gold was actually down for the quarter, and some are saying that that's the cryptocurrency effect. I'm not so sure, but that's what some of the experts are saying. But despite those quarterly downturns, the benchmark indexes are up healthy, almost 11 to almost 15%, depending on which index you're looking at. So not a bad year, and we still got a quarter to go. Now the question really is how are we gonna end 2021? A lot of folks are saying that this is just a blip. It's a pullback. It's healthy to see a short-term pullback, so to speak, and that's everyone. Well, not everyone, but the majority of experts are expecting a good fourth quarter for 2021.
But it lent credence and brought attention to the possibility of battening down the hatches with your portfolio, and in other words, taking some of those winnings off the table.
Yeah, so you're getting to a point that I do want to make, and we can talk about it right now. And that rebalancing is a good strategy for dealing with market volatility. If you're not trying to time the market, because a lot of people don't think they can, and typically it's very difficult to do. One way to take advantage of that volatility is through rebalancing. And so if you look at a traditional balanced portfolio of stocks and bonds, that bond portion of your portfolio has lagged the equity or stock portion of your portfolio, and by a healthy margin. And so by rebalancing, that is to say, getting back to your target allocation, you would likely be reducing your equity exposure, selling some of those gains, taking some of those gains and reinvesting it in the fixed income bond portion of less risky portion of your portfolio. And so you could say that that's a timing strategy as well as just a rebalancing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the concerns and one of the things that might be a factor in this recent sell-off is the potential for a possibility of inflation. We talked about that. If you wanted to see that discussion, it's in the library. We talked about some of the factors that are feeding into inflation. We talked about the fact that the Federal Reserve Chairman has said for some time now that this is temporary, transitory, as he calls it. And interestingly enough, during his testimony, his regular, I think it's semi-annual testimony to Congress. He did back off a little bit on that transitory statement and said that it might be a little stickier. Inflation might be a little stickier than what he was previously saying. And I was listening this morning to some of the reports on supply chain and the disruption because you just can't get materials, you just can't get parts, and the producers of these products are saying that this could last well into next year, which is creating a shortage of supply, and the demand hasn't fallen.
Right.
So what does that tell you, Lou? Economics 101, a higher demand, less of a supply, and prices are going to go up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So as a result, the yield on 10-year treasuries.
What's the underlying supply chain issue here? Because it's across sectors, obviously. So there's an infrastructure problem with supply chain, isn't there?
Well, a lot of materials, a lot of parts and stuff are manufactured overseas in places like China and Southeast Asia, Vietnam, and the pandemic isn't going away as fast there as it is here.
Yeah.
And so people aren't making stuff at the rate that they were previously. That's part of it.
Yeah, we've got port issues though.
Port issues, right? Exactly. And so what happened was during the pandemic, all of those containers got backed up, and we're having a problem because we don't have enough at the ports. We don't have enough workers to unload, and so boats which would normally just pull up to the dock and start unloading are sitting at anchor waiting for their turn to come into port, and that's creating a problem as well. And so some of the things that are affecting inflation, right? Gasoline, average retail price for gasoline nationally went up to $3.18 roughly per gallon, up from $3.14, higher than June by a substantial amount, about 10 cents a gallon. And the other things that are when we look at the inflation numbers themselves, let's see, I had it right here. Hold on. There we go. Prices at the consumer level were up in August. According to the latest report, consumer prices rose 0.4% in August, and up again following a 0.4% increase in July. Year over year, about 4.3%.
Food and payroll.
Say again?
Fuel and payroll.
Yeah, exactly. When you
by the way, that's what's going to fix the dock workers situation as well. It's going to be payroll that's going to fix that eventually, which is going to contribute to the issues.
Isn't there first of all, it's all union, right? And there's there's prerequisites before you can just become a longshoreman, I believe. I could be wrong. I've never done that sort of work. I've only heard about it.
Joining the union would be one prerequisite. Yes.
Yeah, joining the union, sure, but you need certain skills.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just put up the sign, hiring, and people can come in and start unloading boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, wages are a factor, but there's still a ramp up time because people have to get experience to be able to do that sort of work. And so that shortage, I don't think, goes away just by paying people more necessarily. Anyway,
is the lack of workers at the docks, is that a ramp up situation as a result of COVID, or were there never enough workers?
No, I think it was the report that I listened to this morning um, indicated that in a normal time, we had just enough capacity to handle all of the demand for unloading.
Yep.
At the ports. And so what happened was it got backed up. People got laid off. There's a lot of people probably retired.
Yeah.
They don't, during that time period, we lost some people, I'm sure. And so that was a disruption that takes some time to recover. And it's not happening as quickly as we would like. And so it's going to be a while. Lou.
Yeah. So to the tenacity of this inflation, you've got two things that don't seem. That's one, the supply chain issues, and the other is fuel issues. Those don't seem to be going away anytime soon.
Yeah, and so the energy fuel issue really was, again, the same thing. During the pandemic, a lot of producers stopped producing. A lot of them shuttered their operations temporarily. And it's not easy to start those up again. And certainly you want to wait until you have the right price before you start drilling again and start producing again. And a lot of companies went out of business.
Yeah.
And so they're just not there anymore. And so a lot of rigs were shut down, and a lot of them, they're not back up to where they were pre-pandemic.
Yep.
And so that's a factor, right? So if we look at the inflation, consumer price index climbed 0.3% in August, following a 0.5% jump in July, and the 12-month period ending in August, CPI was up 5.3%. So the number I was quoting before was just a consumer price number based on a different study. This is the CPI, which a lot of Social Security.
Yeah.
Is your Social Security benefit is based on the CPI number.
That's 5+%.
5.3% August to August. When we get the October read, we'll know. Actually, September. The September read in October this month, we're going to know for sure how much your Social Security benefits are going to rise.
And this was a number that we were trying to edge above. I don't know if this is the same metric that they use.
2%.
We're trying to edge this above 2%.
2%. Yes,
been
that's
working for 6 years to edge this above 2%.
Right.
Yeah.
At a time when the economy was really slow, and the pandemic spooked them even more, so they continued their practices of buying bonds and keeping short-term interest rates low to try to encourage the economy to grow. And it's growing at a very fast pace right now.
Yeah.
And that's probably contributing to inflation as well. Energy prices added to it by going up 2%. Due to a 2.8% rise in gasoline prices. Food prices were up, 12-month period. Energy prices, over a 12-month period, Lou, energy prices are up 25%.
Amazing.
And
What's the food number? Because
3.7, which seems low.
Over a year?
Yep, seems low.
That seems very low. Yeah.
Well, again, I'm not the best person to ask about inflation when it comes to shopping at the market. But my wife is telling me that every week she's seeing a little bit of an increase on just about everything she buys.
Yeah, it's stunning. I mean, you get some of these checkout numbers, and people who go to the grocery store regularly, unlike you, are going to tell you the same story. They're kind of taken aback by these numbers when they check out.
And Lou, used cars and trucks, the latest report, up 31.9% over a 12-month period.
Wow. Imagine, huh?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Talk about sticker shock.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, and producer prices are going up, wholesale prices as well. So it doesn't look like the inflation upward pressure on prices is going to change anytime soon.
So inflation is something we're going to have to live with and should be a more significant part of our planning in the near future.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before that when we do our plans for our clients, we factor in inflation always, And for years, we used a 4% plus inflation rate. When it fell below 4% and down to 2% or even below that for a period of time, we did adjust the way we looked at inflation because it just wasn't realistic to project 4% when it was half of that. But it won't be too long before we start factoring in a much higher inflation rate. Not immediately, because it's possible that this is short term and that Jay Powell is correct. But he's backing off from that original description of how long this higher inflation rate might last.
Well, he used a non-specific term of transient, and as I've been asking all along, what's your definition of transient?
Right. Yeah. Depends on your time horizon, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking over 1,000 years, that could be a 10-year period.
Yeah, the 1980s interest rates are transient by that scale. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that inflation and higher interest rates, Lou, will continue to be the story, notwithstanding what's going on in Congress and their ability or inability to spend more money that they don't have.
Yep.
And apparently that's on hold, at least temporarily, which may not be such a bad thing.
Yeah. Really.
But I don't think that I don't think that that's the really determining factor here. I think where the market ends up in the last quarter, or at the end of this year, and how it performs in the last quarter of 2021 really is going to be a function of where interest rates go. And inflation is going to be a big story surrounding that. And we'll get an inflation number again this month, and we'll talk about it when it does come out. But I would highly recommend that if you haven't already done so, take a look at your portfolio. If you've been benefiting from higher stock market values and your targets are way out of whack because your equity portion of your portfolio, stock portion of your portfolio has grown dramatically, then I would suggest that you take a look at your portfolio and maybe do a rebalancing. So we do have one more thing to talk about today, Lou, and that's this week's Talk Money tip.
Excellent. And
this is all about putting together a financial map for your family. Very important part of your overall plan and something that we include in all of our clients' plans. And so I'm going to go over some of the important points of having that financial map to share with your beneficiaries. So please stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Whether you're saving money for your children's education, preparing for retirement, or deciding on the right life insurance plan, you can count on the professionals at Andover Advisory Group. Established in 1996, our company is responsible for providing financial planning services to individuals seeking sound financial advice. We create a comprehensive financial plan that serves as a framework for organizing the pieces of your financial life so that you can focus on your goals and understand what it takes to reach them. And a financial plan can help you prioritize. For example, how saving for college might impact your ability to save for your retirement. Having a clear perspective will allow you to pick the right strategies and confidently choose suitable products and services. Best of all, you'll have the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your financial life is on track. Call us at 978-691-5005 to book your free initial consultation. That's 978-691-5005. Hi, this is Jeffrey Shank, a chartered financial consultant and the host of the Talk Money Show. I've been helping my clients for more than 30 years, and now I'm going to help you. Join us to learn about the financial issues that concern you the most. You'll hear from the experts on a range of topics, get some great ideas, and it's all designed to help you make more out of your money. So tune in to Talk Money right here on Eagle News Radio. Welcome back. Hey, Luke. So this week's Talk Money tip is all about having a map of your financial situation that you leave for your spouse,
Yeah.
for your kids. So sort of like a pirate map that shows
I like it. Yeah.
that shows where the bounty is buried.
Where the X is, yeah.
Where the X is, exactly. Right. And so here's the key points for having this. So this is something that if you get sick, and let's say you were the person in the family that was handling all of the finances. So this would be something for your spouse or for your kids, if you were to pass away, so that they can find everything, and they can understand what the situation is, and be able to take over for you in a dire situation. And
Think about just the logistics, just the accounts and the passwords and all. Just the
exactly.
just the basics. Jeez.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and you actually make a good point, something that really I didn't put on the slide. But here's the thing. So first and foremost, you want to have a list of all your financial accounts with account numbers. And to your point, Lou, you want to make sure that you have the online access to those accounts. So with your passwords, user IDs, passwords, and the challenge and the answers to the challenge questions.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I actually this actually happened. I had a client whose parent was ill, and she had to take over, and they had and the parent had a financial advisor, and she didn't have any map like this, so she was talking to the financial advisor to find out where everything was, and I was helping her to understand what she needed to do, and she was giving me information that I could use to help her with the taxes and stuff like that. And I received from her this document that indicated that they had stock in a company directly. That wasn't in a brokerage account because it said there was a dividend. And I did the calculation based on the dividend per share, and realized that there was $40,000 of value in this stock.
Wow.
That the financial advisor had no knowledge of.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's so important to have all of that information in one place, right? And then the next thing you want to make sure is that you have a list of all the important documents. What I'm talking about is a copy of the will, trusts, power of attorney. That's a critical document, a power of attorney, so that somebody else can make decisions for you about your business affairs, your financial affairs, and that's a document that you don't want to have it in a safe deposit box.
No,
because in order to open up the safe deposit box, you might need that power of attorney.
Right.
Exactly. So, yeah. Catch 22.
Yep.
If you don't have a copy of that power of attorney, and you want to, and so you have a list of the documents, but you also want to have a location, sort of like a key, right? Here's the places where I keep these documents: top drawer in my bedroom, safe behind the picture of grandma, or safe deposit box. And so you say, okay, here's the important document, but here's where it's located.
Yeah, this seems so basic, and people are probably rolling their eyes, but I imagine 80% of the time this doesn't happen.
Well, I guess what I was saying before is this is something that we ask our clients to do as part of the financial planning process. So contact information for professionals. So who handles your financial and legal affairs, such as your attorney, financial advisor, insurance agent, accountant. Also include others who may be helpful, such as a business partner or maybe even a trusted friend. Right. So you want to have a list of all those contacts.
When you have clients where you would have much of this information on them, what are your restrictions in terms of passing them on to a child or someone else in the event that they're incapacitated? Do you have any restrictions? Can you just take instructions from your client?
So that's where a power of attorney it becomes very important, Lou,
Yeah.
because I do have a confidentiality agreement with my clients, and I can't just share that information with just anybody.
Right.
Now, if my client has given me express permission in advance, other than with a power of attorney, then certainly I can share that information. And that's where maybe having a meeting with your financial advisor along with your kids might be a good idea. Just
Yeah.
introduce them. Now let your financial advisor know these are the people who I trust, and I want to make sure that if something happens to me, you can share whatever information that you have with them so that they can handle my affairs properly.
It's not a given. It's something that has to be set up.
It has to be something.
paid
Yeah, it's
attention to.
not right. Exactly, Lou. So the default is sorry, I can't give you any information.
Yeah.
If that was your question, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep. How about bills and creditors? Right. You want to make sure that the bills are paid. You
Yep.
want to make sure that the lights don't get turned off and the gas bill is paid. So having that information, the car payment, making sure that they know when it's due, how to pay it.
Yep.
Again, online access to those accounts critical so that you can pay it, because a lot of times if something happens, you don't have a power of attorney. At least if you have online access, you can make those payments
Right.
without having that power of attorney. I'm not going to talk about the legality of that. Not my
Yep.
job, but from a practical point of view, would be good to have that information available so that people can take care of those personal items. And maybe last but certainly not least is your final wishes. And so what we do is we give our clients a document where they want to put down some of their more personal thoughts, right? How they want to be buried. Is it going to be cremation instead? What sort of service, organ donation, charitable contributions in your memory, that sort of thing.
Right.
Or you might want to add to that some, thoughts or life lessons that you want to pass on. That might be a separate letter. And there might be some things that you want, some personal items that you didn't want to put in a will.
Right.
It was just too much trouble, and you didn't want to pay the attorney $500 an hour to figure out who's going to get the Hummels, right? So you might want to throw that in a separate document. Again, keep that in a safe place, and don't forget to put it on your list of documents and where it's located, because could be days after the funeral when that's discovered, and it might be too late at that point.
Yeah,
to
put
do
in
anything with it.
your secret Hummel hiding space. At the
I don't
end
know
of
why.
the stairs,
I don't know why I used Hummels.
you
Is
got
that
a
passé?
safe room for your Hummels. I don't know.
Is that passe?
No, I'm sure. I was curious what you're going to come up with for a specific, so that worked great. Yeah.
Yeah. And so bottom line is, this is something that again, it's not a legal document. It's just something that you want to have in case it's needed. And you know what? If you live long enough, chances are this is going to be something that you would need. And I usually tell my clients, look, here's the document. Here's what you have to do. Here's what you have to do to fill it out. In the middle of the summer, when you're going to the beach and you get a lot of things going on, graduations and whatnot, probably not a lot of time. But during the winter, during a snowstorm, might be a good time to pull that out.
I'll tell you from
work on
personal
it.
experience, you're doing your kids a huge benefit, or your spouse. This is a huge benefit for them.
Yeah.
This is
It's
not
sorta-
something to be downplayed. This is an enormous help.
Lou, it's sort of like a parachute, right?
Yep.
If you don't have one and you need one, you can't get one. It's too late.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's this week's Talk Money tip. Looks like we're out of time, Lou.
Yep.
So we're not next week. I think is
It's a holiday?
Yeah, I think it's
Nope.
is it Columbus Day next week?
Could be. Sure.
Am I wrong? So I
No,
think so.
sounds great.
So yeah. So we won't have a
Or
live
Indigenous
show.
Peoples Day, whatever you prefer.
I was just going to ask, do they still call it Columbus Day?
In places, it's hit and miss.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So we won't have a live show next week, but we'll be back the week after. So remember, in the meantime, good sound advice is much better than advice that just sounds good. Thanks, Lou.
Okay. Money, it's a gas.